Hello.
It's Nicole from the library. Welcome, Seminole State family, to another research rally, the Canvas You Never Knew. With me today is...
Where are we going?
Me? Oh, I'm Ross from the library. How are you?
And we have our awesome special guest.
Hi, I'm Sam from eLearning.
Sam!
Sam from eLearning.
Hey.
And of course we have...
Information Jason. Hi everyone. Welcome. It's our final. Oh, whoa! Who's that?
There's multiplying! It's multiplying!
Oh, what's going on? It was like a mogwai, and I got water on me, and now I'm a gremlin. If anyone knows that movie, So this is our final research rally of the 2022 term. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Jason, I think one of your Jasons is echoing still. We'll
What? Maybe you can hear me through the wall because I'm so loud. All right.
Probably. All right. So once again, Sam from eLearning is joining us today to help us learn about Canvas, the Canvas you never knew, things about Canvas that will help you become a better online student, to use Canvas to your advantage. Sam, do you want to briefly introduce yourself for our audience today?
Sure.
Oh,
absolutely.
There you are.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sam. So I am in eLearning. I am the LMS admin. So all things Canvas, all day, every day. I came to Seminole State from UNF, where I was their LMS admin, and I've been at Seminole State now since May.
Right.
Awesome. So as many of our students watching right now or on the replay know, they're usually librarians, like not myself, but usually Jason. I don't know which Jason you usually get, but
you're
Jason
a librarian. You're a librarian.
I am, but I don't work in Canvas. But if you're a student, you've probably seen a librarian in Canvas embedded to help with that coursework. So Ross can speak very closely to experiences that students have. So he has a couple questions that he had for Sam today. Like, hey, can we talk about this? Because I think I talk to a lot of students that are worried about X, Y, or Z. Take it away, Ross.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I work with students all the time, and they always have questions about Canvas. And I've used Canvas for many, many years now, but I don't really know what I'm doing with it. So I thought this would be a really cool time going into the next semester to kind of talk about some of these, the hidden tips and tricks with Canvas, like how to use some of these tools that your professors are using, and kind of try to figure out how to make sense of the courses when they don't all look the same. I hear that a lot, from students. They go, well, my professor does it different than this other professor, and I don't really know where to look. So I thought it would be really cool if Sam could just jump by with us today and just kind of talk through some of the intricacies of Canvas and some of the weird little things that go on with it, and just how to use it to your advantage going forward into next term.
And if you're watching right now and you're in the live chat, if you have a specific question, a little question, maybe a big question about Canvas, go ahead and pop it in the live chat, because we'll get it answered today, or at least we'll get started on investigation to answer your question.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I think maybe why don't we start big, Sam? What is one of the things that you hear a lot from students that just trips people up pretty frequently?
So a lot of the errors that we will encounter, or students will encounter, surprisingly, a lot of people don't know this, but in Canvas, having a full cache in your browser impacts Canvas so much. I'd say probably 60% of the errors that I'll see students or even faculty reporting can be fixed by clearing out your cache. With that, also Canvas has supported browsers. People don't realize that, but Google and Firefox are going to be your best bet with Canvas. Safari is one of the ones that almost always has problems with Canvas. So if you're an avid Safari user, switch to Chrome and Firefox for any time that you're working inside of Canvas.
I had a student on chat last night, and in addition to those, the fact that it doesn't really work the best or at all for Canvas, a student couldn't get into a database last night on Safari, and I said, do you want to try Chrome? and it worked out, and they got in the database and got access to articles. So it works for a lot of different things here at the college.
Yeah, I had that exact situation today, Nicole, with somebody's database.
yeah?
They were using Safari and nothing was loading, but the minute we switched to Chrome, everything started working. And they said, oh, so, okay, cool. So that is something that comes up a lot. I mean, I just hear it from students often, there's like stuff isn't working right. And so I'll be honest with you, I never really thought about clearing my browser.
Never thought about it. Does anyone still use Alta Vista? Should we use Alta Vista? Is that a what? What year are we in?
Jason, I thought we were gonna go easy on the old person jokes.
Back in my day, we didn't have internet. We had hieroglyphics. Take a look in the chat there. I asked the question, how's your Canvas experience been? I thumbs up. I see 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 great. So anyway, so there's some good feedback there. Yeah. Cool.
Sam makes all that happen, so that's awesome there. But so Sam, that was one of the other things. I hear this a lot from students. I kind of mentioned this earlier. Is I get it pretty frequently from students where they go, I don't know where stuff is in my class because it doesn't look like my previous class there. Yeah. So what kind of advice do you have when you're in that situation? What kind of stuff should you look for that's pretty consistent across classes? What kind of stuff are you going to definitely need every time, even if it's in a different place?
Sure. So Canvas was designed for modules to be used as like a hub for all of the information in your course. Some people don't use it like that, but if there is modules activated in your navigation bar in a course, chances are good that most of the stuff you'll need will be inside of modules. Not to add my own old person joke, but
please do.
The module system in Canvas is very much like a file cabinet. It's designed to hold everything. Everything else has its own living location, but inside of modules, there are folders, and then inside of those folders are the different options that you'll need: quizzes, assignments, discussion boards. So if modules is activated in a course, chances are good that's where everything is going to be located. Now, if modules isn't activated in a course and you don't see it on that navigation bar, two good places to look would be Syllabus. Some instructors will use Syllabus and just have everything located there. And then the other place to look for is going to be assignments or discussions. So if you're not seeing modules and you see assignments and discussions is where all of your stuff is going to be located if modules isn't there. So look there. All of anything that's going to be due will be under assignments if it's turned on.
So that was if the professor in a specific course, because once again, to reiterate, you have different classes on Canvas. They could be set up slightly different. If the professor has not activated the modules to show up on this left-hand side menu, and I'm sorry if you referred to it by a certain name, just correct me, please. Then if modules isn't there, they should go to assignments and/or discussions.
So yeah, either or. So assignments will show any graded discussions in there. It's going to show everything that's graded. But if you're looking specifically just for a discussion board, going to just discussions will be easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I see some professors, what they'll do is they'll hide the modules, but they'll make that front landing page, all of the modules in one shot there. So you might not see modules, even though they're using modules, right?
Yeah, so that's the other option is with modules. You can make it the home page, and for that, it's the easiest option. So you just go to the home page of the course, everything will be there. If it is on the side, go to modules on the side, but if not, home will show you where the module is. Yep.
Okay. And then just for a reference, since we are a learning institution, Sam,
hey, what's going on? Cabinets. What are we doing? Oh, filing cabinets? Which one looks good?
We're learning about what a filing cabinet is real quick. It's just a physical cabinet that you open the drawer and there's like a bunch of papers in like folders. It's basically, now we just have like cloud-based storage instead of these things. Okay.
Good. That's good. That's informative.
Jason, is one or more of the Jasons on looking in the comments. Do we have any questions? Anybody
Yeah.
have any specific questions about Canvas?
Yes, Nicole, absolutely. But no absolute questions. But
Okay,
people are
cool.
signing in. They're checking in. I want to make sure that everyone's signed up for classes for the spring. We do have some a few people are still doing some final assignments and everything. So make sure to check the library hours. So we're open extended hours on multiple campuses, and then we also have our 24-hour library chat in case you need something that's like way into the late night, in case you're cramming. And so we are here to help you. That's seminolestate.edu/library. And let's take a little peek. Ross, could you click? I want to know, how do I add my picture? And how do I, if I wanted to add my pronouns, how can I do that? And let's take a look there.
Let's talk through that. And Sam, you're probably going to have to coach me a little bit because I'm probably going to do this wrong. But I think you go to your profile, right? Yeah. Over there on the far side. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger.
And you don't want to go to settings.
Ah, it's the settings there. Yeah. Okay. And this is where, you can add your pronouns and you can do things like change all the system defaults.
Yeah. Another one that's kind of important for this, and I was going to touch on it a little bit later, but since we're here, if you kind of zoom out a bit, let's see, over on the side, the ways to contact. So you can add in your phone number, personal emails. I would suggest leaving the starred email as your school email.
I think so.
But, yeah, but you can use those other forms of communication to set notifications. So if you need a text message about all of your due dates, you can set that and have that device in there.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
Rock and roll. And I do want to give a shout out in the chat section. Our colleague and friend Shaku is checking in from overseas from Iran.
Where is she?
Hey, Shaku.
She's in the chat. She's saying hello with a smiley face.
How cool.
Hi, Shaku. Hi. Awesome. So I get some of those questions. How do I change my picture, add a picture? How do I put my pronouns in? Basically, I look on the left-hand navigation side all the time to help me out. And you have your profile and whatnot. But me personally, I would put as much information in here as possible. That way, a professor can reach me. That way, another student in the class maybe can reach me, and that way, maybe even somebody from the institution can get a hold of me as well. So I would recommend doing that. Many of you are signed up for classes for the spring. If you haven't already, registration's open now. But I would sign up and put in as much of my content in there while I'm looking at my syllabus, while I'm looking at the modules. That way I feel more engaged, and that way I feel like I'm more accessible to, as I mentioned, a professor or any of the other students. So those are my recommendations. Hey,
whoa.
Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm pointing. What's up? What's
this is Jason wondering why you haven't input all of these details.
I know, Rob. What? Input the details. By the way, we just hooked this up on Canvas. If you don't input your details, that's going to be me popping up on your Canvas screen. Like, hey, what's up? Can you do it? Go ahead. Nicole, this student has not input their details in Canvas. Go. Where's the guy?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, what? Sorry.
Where were you going?
No!
I'm the old person? You're taking a nap in the middle of the show? Yes, Elizabeth, everyone who's here for first year experience credit, thank you for taking the FYE course. We will get you your credit at the end of this rock and roll live session that we have here. So we will get to it. We'll hook it up. No problem. We'll get it. Everyone wants the attendance. We'll get it.
Okay. It looks like, by the way, just to like a little break for a technical difficulty, just to let everyone know, like this link in SAP for this show is not working. So do you want to, I don't know, what is it? It's 4:16. I don't know if you want to edit it right now, Jason.
I'm not really sure, but I think we need a commercial break. And so we're back. And so make sure to, those sponsors really, they pay a lot of money to be here. So we want to make sure.
Actually, our students paid for that sponsor.
Oh, that is true.
Well, we get a paycheck for being here.
That's a fine product. That is a fine product. So let's dip into the chat here. Does anybody who's still doing their finals or anything, anybody need any research information, any specific questions or roadblocks that you've come up against? I know we're in the final cram session here. So Go ahead and use the chat if you need any information. And Nicole, I'll take a look at the SSAP, which you were talking
Okay.
about.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if we want to bother editing that right now.
Yeah.
And then Ross, like you had a list. Like, what else do we want to? We don't want to let Sam go today before we ask all of the burning questions.
I mean, I know Sam has some stuff that you want to talk about there, so I can turn it over to you. I have questions too. I mean, one of the things I get a lot too is, how do I view my professor's feedback? They said they commented on my work, but I can't see it. And as a professor, I comment on my students, on every single thing my students turn in. I comment on, and I don't ever know if anybody's even reading it. So how do you do that?
Yeah, so sometimes the comments can be a little bit varied. It depends on what kind of assignment it is. But if you go into your grade view for a course and you click on the name of the assignment, it's a hyperlink. In there, it's an extended view of that assignment, and there will be options. So if there's a rubric, there's a button to see the rubric. If they have left a comment, usually it'll appear on the side, and you can click to see more of the comment. If they've left feedback on the paper, sometimes you'll have to click. There will be in the preview window, there will be a button that says see feedback. And if you click on that, you'll see more of the feedback. It is a little bit varied. Canvas does have some guides that will show you where all of those buttons are, with pictures and stuff.
Right on. Yeah. I hear that one a lot.
Yeah.
And Ross, since you have if we could, let's do a little bit of a plug here. Would you mind going back to your dashboard and maybe let's plug our LIS 2004 course?
Sure.
In the spring, Ross is going to be teaching. There are 2 6-week courses. Ross is doing the A term, and I will be doing the B term. It's a 1-credit course online, and we're basically going to be teaching students how to do research. It's basically research survival skills for college. And by the way, in the chat, how many of you plan on transferring to a 4-year university? Just give us a yay or a nay. But what we're trying to do is we want to build those research skills. And Ross and I created that module, and it's in the Canvas course. And there's a lot of fun pictures and fun exercises. And like I say, that is open for registration right now. So the first part, A term, Ross is doing, and I'm doing the B term after the spring break. So awesome. Okay, so we do see some folks who are planning on transferring. We want to get those research skills down now, work that muscle, get that brain going now. So when you go over to Direct Connect, either to UCF or the greatest institution of all time, Florida State University, you'll be ready to go at your junior level, right? Because you want to hit that ground going strong. So
Hey, I have a question for Sam, and maybe and others, maybe one of the Jasons or all of the Jasons and the Ross. We have the Ross, we have the Jasons. And I just realized this at my last position at the last institution I worked at. I used to tell students to look at the grade book if they wanted a one-stop shop for every single ittle-bittle, big and large assignment that was going to be graded for that course. I feel like it was Gradebook or something, because I had always had students being like, I got discussions, I got assignments, I've got a module thing, I've got this. And I think it was a Gradebook. Is there a thing called Gradebook or grade list or something like that?
Yeah, so the Gradebook, or where students go, is called Grades.
Okay, it's called Grades for students.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that will show you all of the assignments, but not necessarily anything that could be unpublished, anything that could be not viewable yet. So the Gradebook is only going to show you what the instructor wants you to see right at that moment. Sometimes,
okay. So that,
so sometimes it will have all of the assignments. Other times it won't. So you can also use the syllabus. That syllabus tab should have every assignment, even if it's not available yet. Or if the instructor has maybe a electronic paper version of the syllabus, you can download that, and that should have the dates and everything on it.
okay. So here's a problem. How do I go back in time and apologize to all the students that I told them the wrong thing?
Well, Nicole, you need a DeLorean that goes 88 miles per hour.
I have a time machine.
Out of a
Oh, that'll do.
DeLorean? That goes, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You need a time machine that
I
goes
have
back.
an old-fashioned time machine, and usually
go.
every day I go forward, but
That would be the. Wait a minute.
I can go back.
Oh, gotta go back in time.
The grade page. The grade page is a good tool. Most of the time it does. I just don't want to say that every time it does.
This is why we need an expert on the call.
This is
So
why we
thank
have
you,
an
Jen,
expert,
for
a subject matter
Yes.
expert. Okay, great. All right, so we do see a bunch of folks who are planning on transferring to a four-year university, and remember we do have the UCF Direct Connect here at Seminole State, so that's something to take advantage of as well. And what kind of research projects? What are you all working on then that you're doing here in the finals? Is it more exams or is it more papers, research papers that you might need? Information about, because we are here to help. Ross, Nicole, and I, and Sam can help too, right? So go ahead. We'll look in the chat there and see. We've had a wonderful day of events here at the library. It's been fantastic. We had the Nikki Solomon from the theater department and all the improv actors. They came over and did some bits, and Nicole jumped in. I jumped in. We all had a good time jumping in.
I was so embarrassed. I did such a bad job at the improv. That's tough. That's really got to have you thinking on your feet.
It was.
So big props to all the students that came out, and they do it all the time. Man, and Jason, on one of your devices, do you have footage of the live jam session that was also part of this afternoon's activities? I don't know if you can like hook us up with some of that footage in here in the stream right now, but that would be cool.
So Jeff Nelson from Intramural and Recreational Sports, he posted something in our Discord channel, and I can try to find that, and maybe we can pull it up, or we could just tell people where to go in the Discord, and then you could join our Discord, and then you can go there and watch it, or you can use Nicole's time machine and go back in time and go watch it from earlier today. Maybe that's an option, or you can come to Nightberry tonight, and we will be here until 10 o'clock tonight. Oh my God, a finals party until 10 o'clock, and we will be doing the karaoke and we have a full drum kit, and I think there's like 4 saxophones down there, and somebody brought a ukulele, and somebody has some spoons. I'm gonna play the spoons. Okay, so somebody's doing an essay and a video. Ooh, the video sounds cool. Okay, great. And remember, if you need any research assistance or you have to do any of your citations, librarians are available, and we also have extended hours. But let's plug the chat. Let's plug the chat, since that is probably going to be something that's
I've got the tiny URL right here. Also, if you like literally just go to the plain old internet, to Google, and search Seminole State Library, you'll get to our webpage, and then our chat is going to pop up like within about 10 seconds at you. So you'll see it at the bottom. You'll also see a link to it at the top. So that's a really easy way to find it as well. And that's running 24/7. I think once campus closes, I don't think we have it open, but yeah, literally until campus closes. What are you looking at down there? Like when I see this, Jason, what is this? Wait, what? This Jason? What is that Jason looking at? Okay.
That's my laptop, and that's my phone, and the other one's the chip in my brain that has the camera. We talked about this beforehand. I have all these devices.
It's breaking my brain, all these Jasons, but I'm not complaining, but
it's a lot
Sam,
of Jasons.
Sam, there's only one Sam. We have the Sam and the Ross. Sam, you don't happen to play any instruments, do you?
Not anymore. I used to, in high school, I played the tuba and the baritone. Yeah, it's been a while though.
Yeah, we should have had a tuba in the library. That would have been.
If we had a tuba, we could have wrangled in Sam, because some of you may not know, but literally today, the director of the Academic Success Center, whose colleague Liz was here with us last week on Research Rally, he was in here today in the library jamming. You use the terminology, Ross. What was he doing? What's the music terminology?
Yeah, he was jamming, I believe, is what we might call it in the field, Nicole.
What else would it be?
I was gonna say playing guitar, but those kids, they don't say let's go play guitar. They're like, let's go jam. I just want to use the parlance of our times. Maybe if this is an accidental old person joke. I'm 18.
Oh, well, you were giving old jokes earlier. I told you to get off my lawn.
And so did Sam. Sam had one. He brought up filing cabinets. I thought that was
There you go. Okay, rock and roll. Good. So we're going to be wrapping it up here in just a little bit. So let's try to get that information for the credit. All right. So let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
And so do we want to do another tiny URL? Because the other URL is like mad, just super big. It's way
too long.
much.
It fit in a chat transaction, like someone asked for it on chat. But yeah, it doesn't fit in live chat.
Okay, so let me work on that for a minute. Stand by. Yeah.
Well, and as we're finishing up, Sam, like, what do you want to leave us with about Canvas? Like, what should we know going into spring term about this? Like, where do we get help? Like, what do we need to know? Like, what's coming up? Where are we at?
I think a couple big things to kind of remember is who helps with what. So if you're looking for like after hours, something is broken, and you're in the middle of a test or whatever it is, reaching out to the Canvas support, and that's hosted by Instructure, the company that has Canvas. They have 24/7 support, and that's on that help bar on the side. If you are having any issues during, like the normal business hours, so like 8:30 to about 5, you can contact eLearning for Canvas related issues, and we'll work with either you or your instructor to figure out what's going on. And then for anything that's kind of like login related, email related, that goes to the help desk. So those are the kind of 3 places to go and get support. And the only other thing that I want to mention is the Canvas app. Highly recommend not taking any exams or submitting assignments through the app if you can avoid it. You can submit through the app and you can take quizzes through the app, but we've seen a lot of issues with the Canvas app and assignments and quizzes. So I always recommend do it on a desktop, even, in a browser on like a tablet would be better than using the app for those things.
That's good. That's super good to know, because sometimes things crash and you're in the middle of an exam and you don't want to get into that or do any of that. I would also recommend going to seminolestate.edu. There's a lot of information on there, and you can always try to contact somebody. There are folks available to help. It's just a matter of, like I said a few minutes ago when we were talking, my recommendation as a faculty librarian here at Seminole State is at the beginning of your next term, and many of you are taking courses and many of you are signed up eventually to transfer to a 4-year university. This should take you all the way through. Look at your Canvas immediately. As soon as something opens, look at it immediately. Look at all of the timelines immediately. Look at your syllabus immediately and start having good time management. Put all that on your calendars and make sure you know who to contact, because that situation could happen. That could happen where you need information. You need information and you don't know who to contact, and you're freaking out, and it's going to be a little bit of a mess. So we're all trying to help you. Make sure you know who to contact beforehand, okay? And I think, Sam, you would recommend that as well, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. All right. I mean, these are computers and technology and this and that. I mean, things can go haywire in the middle of your exam that you paid money for to get the credit for. We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that you do have a kind of a plan, and so that's what we're recommending. All right, so let's jump back into the chat. The link is in the chat. They're there. I'm starting to see in Reader Connect, many of you have already clicked the link once. Cool. If you need any assistance, hang on the line. Sam, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been fantastic. We'll see you again in the spring, hopefully. And if anyone has any other questions, thoughts, concerns, or compliments, you know how to get a hold of us in the library. That's been another Research Rally. Thank you all very much for joining. Have a great year.
Woo! See you all.
Nicole?